yes, all right. We're gonna keep the train going, and we're gonna roll right into The Boys. So I think we have a clip of it.
Richard, what happened?
My wife, she's alive. Vault's holding the Gekko somewhere. And right now, we're in a little bit of trouble.
Are you fucking with us?
Listen, this is a fucking mess. We're the most wanted lads in the country. We got soup terrorists. And we got no superheroes.
Hi, I'm Stormfront.
Who?
I'm the new girl.
Wonderful.
Oh,
good! So what's your big plan?
We'll take them Vault.
there we go.
And I get my wife back.
We're in. Of course we're in.
We blow it up in that air.
More super terrorists will come. For all we know, these maniacs could be waiting for their chance to kill us all.
Who the fuck are you?
I'm just trying to help.
Really? How?
We are in a war, but we can fight back with an army of supermen, millions strong. Now, don't be a pussy. Laser my fucking tits.
1, 2, 3, hit it! She's got a whole army of soups.
We gotta stop her.
We need more soup!
Shit.
All right, what do we do? We can't just kill everyone.
That's exactly what we're gonna do.
Oh, great. Cool. Totally.
1, 2, 3, hit it!
We just need to keep our shit together a little bit longer.
Okay, you guys go ahead. I'm good.
All right, hands in the air. Like you just don't care. Kill.
Woo! The second season is coming back with a vengeance. Definitely a lot jam-packed. This time around, they released 3 episodes to start off with, and I think the remainder of the time they're just gonna release 1 episode every Friday, week to week. But I want to quickly just read also just a quick recap of season 2. So it says, in a more intense season 2 of The Boys, Butcher, Huey, and the team reel from their losses in season 1. On the run from the law, they struggle to fight back against the heroes. Meanwhile, Vought, the hero management company, cashes in on the panic over supervillains, and a new hero, Stormfront, which we're going to talk about, shakes up the company and challenges an already unstable Homelander. Let's start off with the new superhero. I just want to start off with her because she came in, kicked the door in, and already kind of causing problems for Homelander. He's like, oh my God, I can't believe it. She got the spotlight now. But Stormfront.
We don't know what she is going to do because in the comics, she's a man. Her character is a man. She's a Russian. She has the same powers as Homelander, and so she is a reimagined character. And they've given her electric powers and somewhat strong strength and stuff like that. So we don't know what she is, like how she's planted, if she's a plant by Giancarlo Esposito, or we don't really know what her role is, but she's a mother. She's an MF. That's what we do.
My cousin was telling me earlier too that apparently she is supposed to be racist.
Not apparently. We saw it.
She flat out is.
We saw it.
Oh my gosh. I mean, this woman is on the scene and you hate her. Automatically hate her. Like, she doesn't care. She's like, F you and F you too. I don't care. I'm on a mission and I'm gonna do it. And that's it. So she comes onto the scene. You think like we know she don't care about anything, but you kind of think like she's for herself, right? And as it plays out, it's like, no, she got a whole other mission going on, because as you see, well, let's talk about that, about how her character sort of plays out in these episodes. Sid, you want to go into it a little bit more?
She comes in and no one knows that she is even part of the team, and she comes in and she's a social media influencer star, and she comes in with a live broadcast on her phone, and she's like the anti Seven. She's rebellious, she's outspoken, she doesn't really fit with the team, or you would say the organization. It's like you can't keep her in line. So it's you're scratching your head like, okay, why is she here? Because she doesn't fit the mold. She's not a person who just follows along. So you got to think to yourself, why is she here? And I think that she's here because Homelander was just getting out of control.
He was getting out of control.
So they needed someone.
He's way out of control.
There's someone else that needs to be his, his other half, or someone who can challenge him, because no one else in the group. Only person that's close to challenging him would be, I want to call him Snake Eyes, Black Noir, but we haven't figured out what or who he is. Right. But if there's anyone in the group, it would be, because we already know the Wonder Woman character. She's useless. She's terrified of him, so she's not really challenging to him. So here comes this new girl, and so that's her role in here,
which makes me think more of what you had said a minute ago about Giancarlo's character. I forget his. I always forget the character's name. Did he bring they brought her on. But does he have like this whole thing in his mind, like, oh, I brought her on for the specific reason of XYZ, and it is to distract. Yeah, we're gonna find out, but it would make sense because Homelander is out of control, but now she's a distraction. So now he's focused on that and not on I'm gonna take this whole thing over. Yep. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, exactly.
So that part, I'm like, okay, Stormfront's a distraction for him because he needs to be reeled in. Lorena, what you think about Stormfront?
I mean, I like her. I like that she's shaking things up. What's the girl with the yellow outfit with the
Starlight?
So I like the conversation that they had when she was just like, "You're not real. Like, you're so not real. Like, everything about you is not real." And she went into this conversation about Pippi Longstocking and how Pippi Longstocking was a hero. Like, she didn't.
I love Pippi Longstocking.
Oh my God, I used to
love Pippi Longstocking too.
I could never understand her or figure her out, but I just love her.
But it's like what she was saying was actually true, although there was a whole other storyline that was happening that, Starlight didn't let people know about. But on the surface, she's not challenging anything. They're just going with whatever the company tells them, right? And so, Stormfront is just in your face like, no, I ain't doing that. Can you rewrite this script? I know you was watching Transformers. Right. You think all women need to be this, but you need to go back to the drawing board and write this script. So I was like, yes. I mean, I liked her as just being, it's actually quite rare, I guess, that we have, I guess we're entering into a new realm where we have women characters that just outspoken, just doing it just like their men. So I liked her.
Yeah, she's and just as raw, right? And just as raw as the guys can be.
And we needed that element from the first season, since they eliminated the captain or the head of VOT, and so she was that person.
She was that person.
And so when she got eliminated, we needed someone to fill that slot.
When Homelander killed her.
And also, Neil Muhammad said in the comments, it's also ironic that there's a far right-wing group website called Stormfront.
Wow.
In real life.
Go ahead, Neil.
Wow.
So maybe
and he's a super nerd. He knows.
Him and his nerd.
Neil just a paragraph. Neil wrote a paragraph in the comments after that.
You know we don't read.
You don't read, Sydney. You don't read.
Neil, give us the cliff notes.
Bananas. Oh my God. Oh my God. So yeah, Stormfront is here. She's gonna definitely shake things up this season. Yes. It's gonna be real interesting to see how that plays out and how Homelander and her go toe to toe, because they definitely gonna go toe to toe. And you know, I can't wait to see that storyline. Now, as far as like Huey and the team is concerned, the boys, they are like, you know, well, it starts out that they're wanted. They're wanted.
They're wanted from last season.
Yeah, and it's like, right. So we pick up from there. They're in hiding, and so forth. And, you know, they're trying to figure out, okay, how do we navigate through our situation right now? And it's out of control. So let's like start to break into that a little more. Brian, break it down.
I just want to shout out to my boy Laz Alonso, who is Mother's Milk.
Yeah.
H-U, you know.
He's good. He's so good doing that character. He's so good.
Yeah, he is. He really is. No, I mean, they're underground. They're in hiding. They're trying to figure out their situation. They started out without the Butcher, and Huey is out there with trying to save the world and trying to bring down Vought secretly without really having them involved. And then they find out that he's been in contact with Starlight, and they're like, "Yo, you're not supposed to be doing that. You're not supposed to be on the phone. You're not supposed to, we're wanted men." So, and even though Huey's like, "Well, I'm using a burner phone and everything," you know, Huey's just living his life. He's just, you know, he's thrown into this situation as we saw from first season. So he's not about all this life. He in his mind, I think he just wants to get back to his regular life. You know, so they're in the situation, and then I can't remember the Spanish guy ends up calling the Butcher for help.
It's French.
French, yeah. And here comes the Butcher, who stirs things back up again. And the Butcher is a real. I like him.
I do too. I'm sorry. I like his character. He don't care. He's like,
he
listen,
does not give a fuck.
I'm on this mission. I have a goal. I don't care about none of y'all. I don't care what it is or whatever. And that's why him and Huey butt heads. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, they all sort of have their own mission.
They do.
They do. Yeah.
They do. But the other ones, because Butcher was now gone, Huey felt like, okay, I can step up. And they were just like, no, you really can't. You know what I'm saying? Like Huey doesn't have like the whatever to really step into that role, which is why Frenchie, I guess, was like, let's get Butcher, because this is falling apart and Huey is trying, but he's not making it or whatever. So then Butcher comes back and sort of takes lead of the group again, and so forth. So yeah. So then we go into Frenchie's girlfriend and the brother.
The super terrorist.
Right. So
great power.
Yes.
No, listen, the whole dynamic between the story of the two of them, I thought was really great too. Here it is, his brother and sister.
It was great.
But the sister is like, no, I gotta capture you. But let me ask this question because I missed it. Why were they trying to capture him, to take him back to the that woman, the blonde-haired woman, or why was it they were trying to capture him?
He's looked at as a terrorist.
Yeah,
and he was
snuck in.
Right, off the boat or what? Okay, that's what it was. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's why the sister was like, no, let me go get him or whatever. And then the two of them had like a conversation where she was like, no, what you're doing is wrong. And then he's trying to explain to her, no, I'm doing it for our people or something like that. But I like how that whole story was played out because they're brother and sister, but they're against each other. She's with this crew and he's like, what are you doing? I'm doing this for our people. So I thought that was interesting too. Did anybody else think that was like interesting and how that was played out?
I loved it. I thought that whole dynamic of them teaching each other a new language so they can communicate.
Yes.
That was excellent to me. That whole side story, and you felt the tension and the connection and the, all that was going on in their family dynamic, and you were rooting for her, you were rooting for him. He wasn't a straight villain,
right?
Oh, he had a cause and a mission, and it's like, let me go. I'm your brother. Let me go. And she said, no, I can't. It was heartbreaking.
Crazy.
Yeah,
it was
also the fact
that time that he needed, that they needed him, he came to in the tunnel.
That's right.
And saved them.
Yeah, because it was the whole brother and sister dynamics too of I save you, I'm your protector. No, I'm your protector because I'm your older. It was that whole thing that was going back and forth between the two of them of how he saved her or protected her when she was when they were younger, and then she saved him and protected him, throughout another point of their life as well. So the story of how their brother and sister of saving each other and everything like that was great too. So I definitely agree with Sydney. Yeah.
And the fight scene between the two of them,
it was great.
I thought it was awesome.
Great.
It was great.
Stop, because he was like,
she's basically Wolverine.
She is.
And he threw her into the building, and he was like about to go, but like, oh shoot, that's my sister. I need to make sure she's okay.
Her
through the
building, like. Bitch, get out of here.
She literally, her body cut through the building. I was like, what? Yeah, it's definitely a great story, the two of them.
It was heartbreaking at the end.
It was heartbreaking.
Like, damn, you're only a 1 episode character. Damn.
I liked his power. I was looking forward to seeing him.
His power was dope.
I know. Thanks to who, Sydney? Who? Thanks to who?
To that damn Stormfront. That damn Stormfront. And then not only did she kill the brother, but she had to spit on what she call him? Wet or yellow? What'd she say?
Yellow. Yeah, yellow.
Yeah.
I said, damn.
And she racist.
She killed every black person in the hood in the project. She said, zap, 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 zap.
For no reason. She killed the man she ran into in a stairwell.
Yes.
And then here comes Homelander. Like, didn't I tell you to wait for me? She's like, whatever. Like,
he wanted it for himself. Yeah.
He wanted the glory at the
end.
Which is what she ended up getting because she got the press conference. She got everything.
She took it.
But she knows that about him. She knows that about him. Mm-hmm. So that's why she's like, bump you. I'm going to take it from you. I'm here. I'm here. And he don't know what to do.
If he could have lasered her in front of everybody, she
would have been dead.
He was like, that's for acting because he was just like,
yes. He didn't know what to do. He stood there like this bitch.
And she's just like,
and for the people, and we have to save the people. And which is the whole, even just that whole dynamic speaks to what's happening today. This whole show does. It's like you have these superheroes.
You got Donald Trump and and Secretary of State is like,
this is what I'm saying.
What's happening?
This is what I'm saying. You got these superheroes that people are like, they're so good, and they're killing regular folk out here. They're doing worse than the villains are, and nobody knows that. So here it is. It's like Stormfront. Now everyone's like, oh, who's this? The new girl. She done killed up a whole village of black people. You know what I'm saying? And she stood there and she's like, we have to save America from the super villains. And it's just like, wow. So it speaks to even what normally happens in real life. It's like just this cover up or whatever. So yeah,
Neil said, don't forget the Marvel disc. They killed the fake Daredevil.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes, yeah. They did. They definitely did. So the other thing I do want to talk about too is Starlight and A-Train and their little dynamic that was going on for a second.
I loved it. I love the fact that when they finally got alone and he's in a coma from the last season and she is like, doesn't know how to act around him. Like, does he remember what happened?
Mm-hmm.
Not remember that I helped the other team, that, you know. And so he's playing along the whole show, and then he's just like, I remember everything.
Yeah.
I know you're sleeping with the enemy. I know.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that he uses his power he kept coming. He got into her house. You know, he knew that she had something. He searched her first on the studio set, and she was smart enough to put it in the little vial of
in the bag,
Compound V in old girl's purse, so that because she ain't got no pockets. And then, you know, he comes to the house. He's like, I know you got something. I know you doing something. So I like that whole dynamic. It's just interesting to see that they have to work together to keep their secrets.
Right. Yeah. So Starlight gets the Compound V, and the reason why she has the Compound V is because she's helping Huey and the boys expose Vought, the whole company or whatever. So that's why she has the Compound V.
But talk about, like, she's supposed to be the good girl, like, but she just turned it. No matter how good you are, she just turned evil on that guy
Gekko.
Compound V.
Yeah, on that Gekko.
Like, she blackmailed.
Oh yeah, she did. Yeah,
like
blackmailed him. Yeah.
Wow.
So tell us who Gekko is and how that happens.
Gekko before Starlight was joined the Seven, she was in her own group. It was a religious superhero group, and Gekko was part of that. He's called Gekko because he's able to regenerate any limbs that are chopped off. So she figure out, her and Huey trying to figure out how that they can get evidence, get Compound V. And so she's just like, oh, let me stalk Gekko, blackmail him, get some dirt on him so that he's in the lab that he can go get the Compound V. So she blackmails him to go get it. Well, he didn't want to do it. He's a cool guy, a regular guy with a little shape, you know, doing his thing. And, you know, she blackmails him. It's like, yo, that's messed up. That's messed up. Like, you know, you're not 100% good either.
No,
you're the church girl. You're the Christian. You're the one that's supposed to be the shining light star. You know, and you're blackmailing this to get, you know, to further your agenda, whether if it's a good cause or not. It's like, yo. And so he's just like, here, take your shit. And we done. We done.
He was like, we are absolutely done, which I didn't, you know, because it was messed up how she did it. It was messed up. So that's
asking him, instead of just saying, okay, or getting it herself or somehow.
Right. So that's what A-Train was trying to figure out, like, what was it that she had, and he eventually does see that she has Compound V, and he's like, what you doing with that? What's going on? What's about to happen or whatever? And he's holding it over her head, and she's on the like, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen? Is he gonna expose me? But then she flips it.
She flips it.
She flips
You ain't
it.
gonna say shit.
You ain't gonna say shit.
Speak on it, Lorena. Did you about how she flipped it?
Well, it seemed like a little light bulb went off in her head because first, like you said, she was like, "Oh, like don't tell anybody, don't tell anybody," and she's like, "You ain't gonna say nothing because guess what? Your secret's gonna be exposed too. You killed your girlfriend. How many times you stabbed her? I read the autopsy report. Did it hurt when she died? Did you stabbed her 12 times?" He was like, "Oh, you ain't shit."
Again,
I think that started off as a bluff too. Yeah, I think she was bluffing in the beginning, and then,
and
then when she saw his reaction,
she had nothing left.
Yeah,
right. Yeah. I think so too, Brian. I think she was just kind of like saying it to see, like,
okay. I didn't
wait
get
a
that.
minute, wait a minute, is it true? And then his reaction, and she was like, I got you. You did kill your girlfriend. You know what I mean? Okay. So how she flipped it, I loved it. I did. Because it was like, I don't know, I felt like, do I really want A-Train to have something over her, even though she's turning out to be evil just like the rest of them? But I didn't.
I mean, they all got problems. They're all evil.
Suffering from anxiety that he's battling himself from the first season. Like, he's losing speed, and we see subtly that he is still trying to keep his position, because old boy who he was battling in the first season, there's a second speedster. And so they showed when one of them was reading the paper that the other speedster was on the back of the paper, the sports section, saying that, breaking some kind of speed record or something. And so he's still out there and could easily take A-Train's spot.
A-Train's place. Right. Yeah. Right. Mm-hmm. And he don't want to mess with the money. He don't want to mess with his money or whatever. So he's definitely having some problems or whatever. And he thought, okay, this is my end. But then Starlight flipped it, and he's like, damn, it's not my end or whatever. So that whole dynamic too, I love that. I love that little play between the two of them and whatnot. So yeah, this season I feel like is starting out really interesting. It really was a good first 3 episodes. Yeah,
Homelander and
his son
playing Daddy.
Oh yes,
go ahead.
I wasn't finished.
Yeah, no,
so about that.
Homelander all of a sudden, after he discovered the end of last season, that he has a son, so now he wants to play Daddy, and he's basically kidnapped or hijacked, however you want to.
He hijacked that house.
He hijacked the house. Yeah, but he takes the son up on the roof of that house. And he's like, well, you're my son, so you have powers. And the son is like, yeah, I don't think so. And he's just like, no, fly, jump off the roof, jump off the roof. And the kid is like, I just want to be a kid. Like, can I just go back down? And he's like, no, you have to jump. You'll fly. You're my son. So he pushes him off the roof.
Push the child off the roof.
They don't have no boundaries in this show.
No, I knew he wasn't gonna fly. I knew it. I said he's not gonna fly. He's not gonna
fly. And the poor child looks at his dad, and for the first time he says, "Dad, no."
Right. He tried to appeal. No.
He said, "Dad, no." And I said, Lord have mercy. The child is like, and he said, "Oh, go ahead." Pushed him off the roof of the house. The child went like splat onto the ground.
Like a dog.
Oh my God.
But
oh my God.
It brought out the powers.
Yes, it did.
He didn't fly, but his eyes started to get red and start burning up and everything like that because he was angry. Because when his mom came out and his mom was like, yo, you pushed my child off the roof? Right. So, and the kid doesn't know Homelander anyway like that. So he's just like, I'm being forced. Yeah. So and now the kid is like very protective of his mom. And he's just like, yo, get away from us. Like, we don't want you in our life.
And also, besides the eyes, he has strength because he knocks Homelander down.
No, he has the same powers as Homelander.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But then go ahead, Sid.
And he And you realize that the VOT or the organization learned from the mistake of the upbringing of Homelander, and they had him in isolation the whole upbringing. So they created a fake community so that they can raise this child so he won't turn into Homelander. So he's on a compound that's fake.
Right.
A whole community that's fake that, when the mother tries to go to the edge and it's like, yo, you need to figure this out, and you promised me that you wouldn't let him know where we are, and it's like, yo, this whole setup is fake. Just so the boy can be raised in a normal environment so he can grow up like Superman.
Right.
Yeah.
Crazy. Absolutely.
Now you got this evil ass.
But look how crazy is that Homelander heard the whole conversation.
I know.
Yeah.
He heard the whole conversation.
Oh my gosh.
With the super hearing.
Yo, oh my gosh. I just sat there and I said, this is unbelievable how it's just all unfolding and stuff like that. And what I also like too is, as mean and nasty and evil as Homelander is, you always get glimpses of his insecurities, and I love that.
Well, I think that is his kryptonite, because his humanity is his kryptonite, and so that's when we see he's vulnerable.
Right.
Like he didn't have the mother, the father, the upbringing.
Right.
And so that's when he's vulnerable.
Right. So I love how they bring that up every now and then, because, like, for instance, when he went into the blonde woman's office and went in her refrigerator and took out the baby's milk, and how he has an obsession with it. And I'm
he was drinking that baby's milk like
and the publicist walked in. She saw him.
She saw it.
Yeah.
She totally saw it.
She was like,
and it's like, that's how your reaction. You're like, you nasty, but that's a part of his longing for that, because he didn't have it. He didn't have any of those things when he was growing up.
They didn't touch him.
Right.
He didn't have physical contact with people.
Right. Yeah. So that's how the blonde woman could always control him, because she would
literally nurse him.
She would nurse him and touch him and give him that contact and talk to him soothingly, because he didn't have any of that stuff. You know what I mean? So that whole thing.
He's a vicious viper bitch. He's a beast. Ugh. What a nasty character he is.
He really is. And again, the public thinks he's absolutely great. Kids look up to him. Yeah. Oh my God. And he is nasty and evil and whatever. And the last point I want to bring up is Giancarlo's character, how that scene where he handled Homelander. Yes.
I was scared.
What just dawned on me, I feel like he is the equivalent of Lex Luthor to Superman.
Yeah, I guess you could say
that. I guess so.
Think about it.
I guess so.
Like Superman is the god, and then you have someone who's smart and intellectual and powerful that is Superman's nemesis. Mm-hmm. And so here comes Giancarlo, and he fits that role. Yeah, you can't control me. You're like, no, I'm the power. Right. You work for me.
I'm the brain. You're the brain.
Yeah, I think Homelander underestimated. I think when he got rid of the blonde,
he thought he was in charge.
Woman, he thought that he was in charge, and he underestimated everybody else. Yeah,
he underestimated.
Homelander is not ultimate. He's not smart.
Yeah,
he's not.
He doesn't know big picture.
Yeah,
he doesn't. He has no idea, and Giancarlo's character does. He knows the whole big picture, but he knows how to handle them. And I was like, oh my gosh, why can't somebody give Giancarlo needs all the awards? Because everything he played, it don't matter.
Yeah.
He needs to be a household name, like Washington. Like,
yes.
He's again, flowers to Giancarlo.
Flowers to Giancarlo.
And he gets better with age. It's just like He's not stereotypical. He doesn't play the same role every time.
No. Great. He's absolutely great. I love him in this role or whatever, but I just thought that was amazing how he handled Homelander. And Homelander tucked his tail between his legs and said, oh, okay, there's a new sheriff in town. Mm-hmm. I don't got a handle on this. So yes, big things to come with Homelander and the boys and all of that stuff. So let's rate this. The first 3 episodes. Lorena, what'd you think?
So this show, for me, I'm like,
were you able to finish it? Oh no.
I finished up to I gotta go back and go back. But
it's a lot of blood and guts for you.
Yes, it is. It's a lot of when they shot the CIA lady's head, I was like,
oh yeah, we didn't even say that. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And she's the main character.
I had to pause the TV. I was just like
exploded.
It's like no warning. Like with the Gekko, that whole scene with the sawing of the arm, I literally had my eyes closed the whole time. I couldn't even
cut off my dick if you want.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God.
For extra 1,000.
I said, what is this show we watching? So it is
blood and gore.
Oh my God.
We didn't even talk about the Deep.
We
got about that whole Scientology, that whole arc that he's going through.
Yeah.
I have to say though,
and
as much as with the blood and guts and everything, that doesn't bother me. What did bother me was that damn talking gills. That was disgusting.
That bothered me too.
Yes, that was disgusting.
No, I felt for him when Homelander's like,
I did too.
Cover yourself, your gills.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh. I was like, that's like my extra skin, my fat on my stomach. I was like, oh.
And that was such a deep moment for him because he was just getting out of his insecurities, just getting over it, and then Homelander put him right back there again. Yeah,
through the dagger. And it wasn't like all the gills was showing. It was a little tear,
Homelander's a bitch.
Oh my God, he's evil. Totally poor Deep. Deep has been going through it.
How do you feel about the Deep and the Scientology?
I feel bad for him. I mean, I feel bad for him in terms of all the things that he's going through.
What's their agenda?
I think they're crazy. I think they're trying to suck him into use him
for their agenda.
The 7, yeah, for their agenda. Mm-hmm. Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
At least we got another black superhero. We got Hawkeye.
Yeah. Well, Lydia, I'm gonna give it a 4. I'm gonna give the episode a 4 because although it's very gory, it's a lot for me. The storyline is really good, and I like the superhero aspect. I mean, I can deal with the gore. I just gotta know. I can anticipate. I'm like, oh, it's time to close your eyes because something about to happen. You gotta turn. You gotta close.
A lot of closing your eyes.
Well, with the CIA agent, they caught me off guard. I'm telling you, I had to pause the TV. I'm like,
yo, I was like,
I figured the whale would have gotten you more than the CIA.
Yeah, there was a lot.
I figured the whale would have gotten you more than the CIA.
The whale, no, when Stormfront busted up the little boy hands, snapped them and the bones came out. I was like, Lord have mercy. That was crazy.
In the opening scene in season 1, A-Train runs through
the girlfriend.
I gotta go back to that. Go back.
Wait till you see that girl.
Yeah, that's how the show opens.
Blood and gore.
For season 2?
Season 1.
No, season 1.
Season 1. I gotta go back.
She gotta go back.
The same question.
She gotta go back. All right.
You can forget
Brian,
that.
what you rated?
I ain't watching it.
I give it a 4.5.
What?
I give it a 4.5. I love the boys. I love everything about the boys. I love the superheroes being evil. That's what I fell in love with.
Who's your favorite character?
In the first season? My favorite character? If I have to really say, I like this new character, I like her. That electricity was it for me. She's a bitch, but I liked her power. Yeah, but I love The Boys. I'm looking forward to this season. So yeah, I give it a 4.5.
Sid?
I want to join Brian. I think I'm gonna give it a 4.5. And my favorite character would be Black Noir, because I'm so intrigued. I'm so intrigued because in real life it's a black man underneath that suit, but I don't know if they're going to let him be black when they reveal him. Because in the comics he is Homelander. He is a botched clone or a botched experiment of Homelander.
Oh,
and
gotcha.
So that nobody knows, and he's the worst character out of all of them in the comics. He's the worst one. And they gave us a little
glimpse into that
in the beginning when he covered the man. He slit the terrorist's throat and then was dangling it in front of the kid.
Right?
Torture, molest, and kill kids too.
Bananas.
So he's I'm really intrigued to see where they go with his character.
Yeah. So I'll have to give it a 4.5 as well. I think it's great. I love the show. And I don't know, my favorite character right at the moment is also Stormfront. She's evil or whatever, but she came in and she kicked the door in and she is like, I'm here, bitches. And so I'm looking forward to like what other shenanigans she has up her sleeve. So yes, The Boys. Oh my gosh. P-Valley, The Boys, some great TV. You know, so yes, everyone. Thank you for Neil. Thank you for the comments. Because you had the majority of the comments. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for joining in to Watch Party. Be sure to check us out on Sunday at 10. Not sure what we're gonna get into. If we've decided what we're gonna get into on Sunday, but what?
I thought we were gonna next Thursday.
We're back in a week.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Sorry about that. We'll be back next Thursday, not this Sunday. Next Thursday at 9. But yeah,
you can catch me on my producer. I was on my Isaac Kiwi IG page for my after plug.
And our producer could get lots of sleep. Rest up, producer.
Everyone be sure to like and subscribe to Hit List.
He get enough sleep to hate.
You're done.
Just dream up all this hate.
You're done. Let's wrap this up. Thank you, everyone. Like, subscribe to Hit List on Facebook and Hit List Network on IG. And we will see you next time. Deuces.